We have major breaking news right now. Zohran Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York City. A major victory, a generational victory for a candidate that has changed the way the Democratic Party operates. Has changed the way the Democratic Party operates. He ran on a platform that focused on affordability, a platform of freezing the rent, a platform of making buses across New York free, opening free grocery stores run by the New York City government in boroughs across New York City. Tonight, he has pulled out a major win against former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa, the Republican nominee in New York City. Zohran Mamdani was expected to win, so it's not a surprise that he won tonight. But polls were tightening in recent days, and Cuomo backers pumped in tens of millions of dollars into this race, trying to paint Mamdani as some kind of using Islamophobic attacks, comparing him to the terrorists on 9/11. I mean, folks, these were horrific, horrific attacks launched against the Democratic nominee for mayor. Remember, Cuomo voters had a chance. Back in the Democratic primary, they could have voted in Andrew Cuomo as the Democratic nominee, and yet, failed. Yet, failed. They were not able to do it. They were not able to do it. Zohran Mamdani will be the mayor of New York City. And here's the thing. This is a generational election. Zohran Mamdani is just 34 years old. A generational election. One that will have reverberating effects for years to come, but will fundamentally change the way Democrats campaign in cities across America. And it's up to them to actually reach young voters where they're at. And that's what Zohran Mamdani did. He reached young voters across the city of New York, across New York City. He did that. And honestly, he ran a pretty much perfect campaign. Pretty much perfect campaign. There was really no question that he would win tonight. And part of it, truthfully, is because of how good of a campaign he ran. He ran a campaign that focused on the issues that matter to young people, but not just young people across America. I don't know if you saw, but he was on Ari Melber's show recently, and Ari Melber asked essentially, "Hey, Mr. Mamdani, why should Republicans vote for you? Why should Republicans care about you?" And he said, "Quote, because they have to pay rent too. They have to pay rent too." Freezing the rent is a policy that impacts everyone. It's a policy that is supported universally by most people. And they support freezing the rent because rent prices are too damn high in New York City right now. And while Zohran Mamdani galvanized a generation and he won. And let's look at this from a macro lens, because tonight Democrats, well, they're having a great night. They're having a great night across the board. And it's not just in New York City where Zohran will be will be the next mayor of New York City, but also let's look at Virginia. Abigail Spanberger won. Jay Jones won. Ghazala Hashmi won. Clean sweep in Virginia. Okay, let's move on up to New Jersey. Mikey Sherrill won. Major win in New Jersey. Let's look a little west of Pennsylvania. Democrats will retain a 5-2 majority on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Republicans thought that they could do away with the Democratic justices on the Supreme Court. They failed. They failed. Another win for Democrats. Go up to Massachusetts. Michelle Wu, Democrat, won. Mayor, reelection. Zohran Mamdani is just the next step in what has turned out to be a truly historic night for Democrats across the board. Truly historic night for Democrats across the board. And it's only going to get better with Prop 50, if I had to predict. Prop 50 is coming in just a matter of hours, and Democrats are expected to win in California, win big in California. And even people like J.D. Vance's half brother, he just lost a race in Cincinnati, Ohio, to be the next mayor of Cincinnati. That's significant as well. Democrats are overperforming. Republicans are underperforming. There are races that Democrats shouldn't be winning, right? Mikey Sherrill's race, all the headwinds were against her. All the headwinds were against her. You never have more than one candidate, one Republican Party or one Democratic Party candidate serving more than 2 terms in New Jersey. And yet, you had Mikey Sherrill break that curse tonight. In Virginia, someone like Jay Jones, with all those scandals, should not have won, especially if it was going to be a close race. If Abigail Spanberger only won by 4 or 5 points, Jay Jones would not have won. But she won, and it's not even close. It's a landslide. And if you look at Pennsylvania, this is a swing state, and it wasn't even close. The margins that we're seeing, folks, right now across the country, not even close. And I expect this New York margin to be next. I expect when all ballots are counted, Zohran Mamdani to win and not to win by that close of a margin. So here's the thing. Let's look at what we know so far. Democrats have flipped the VA governor's race. Democrats have flipped the VA lieutenant governor's race. Democrats have flipped the attorney general's race, taken a complete trifecta in the House of Delegates, the Virginia Senate, and now the Virginia gubernatorial. Democrats have won the New Jersey lieutenant governor's race. Democrats are seemingly prepared to flip statewide offices in Georgia, won 2 Georgia races on the Public Services Commission that first time in 20 years that a Democrat has won. Okay. Democrat has won in New York City, Zohran Mamdani, mayor of New York City. J.D. Vance's half-brother has lost in Cincinnati, running against a Democratic incumbent who beat J.D. Vance's half-brother. The last Republican member of the Orlando City Council, gone, lost. In Pennsylvania, the justices have been retained, 5-2 majority on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. That's been retained. And then Prop 50 is next. And sources tell me, based on what I'm seeing on the ground right now, lines are massive lines right now. Massive lines. Massive. So expect Prop 50 to pass, if I had to guess, within 15 minutes or 20 minutes of polls closing in New York City, in California. And so now we're in a situation where Democrats sweeping across the board. Folks, we're going to have a lot of post-moratorium to talk about. About what this means for Trump, what this means moving forward, 2026, all the jazz. What it means tonight is that Donald Trump and Trumpism is being rebuked everywhere. Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, Jersey, everywhere. A very bad night for Trumpism, a very bad night for the president of the United States. And maybe it's about to only get worse. I will continue to provide you updates. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my work. And folks, I will see you soon with an update on Prop 50. That is the next major election coming up in just a matter of hours. So stay tuned for more.